A creature suddenly appeared in the dilapidated monastery. Hiding on a supporting pillar, Landon had never seen anything so terrifying. It made him wet himself in fear. The smell of urine quickly caught the creature's attention. It leaped up, lunging toward the two men hiding on the pillar. Lucas quickly shone his flashlight directly at the creature. Blinded by the bright light, it fell back to the ground. But a hungry creature like this wouldn't leave easily without catching prey. Landon suggested he should be the one to deal with the monster. Back when they were kids and got into fights, Landon had a signature move. He would always climb to a high point and attack from above. He knew it like the back of his hand, and now was the perfect chance to use it. So Landon let go of the pillar and jumped down. The creature was still blinded by the flashlight, and Landon landed right on top of it. The impact left the creature motionless. Just as they let their guard down, the creature suddenly revived, throwing Landon off its body in an instant. Seeing the creature quickly lunging at Landon, Lucas jumped from the pillar, kicked the creature in the head, and swiftly pulled Landon up from the ground. However, the creature came at them again soon after. It was so fierce that they could only dodge its attacks around the monastery. Right then, Carter woke up from unconsciousness. Lucas urgently called for his help to deal with the creature. But Carter was already terrified beyond reason. He didn't dare help them. Instead, he kept his eyes closed and lay still, pretending to be dead. Left with no choice, Lucas and Landon found a hidden spot to temporarily avoid the creature. However, once Carter saw the creature was distracted by them, he actually tried to seize the chance to escape the monastery. But the creature noticed him immediately. Soon, Lucas and Landon, still hiding, heard Carter's screams. Lucas wanted to rush and help, but by the time he saw Carter, the creature was already sinking its teeth into his neck. In a panic, Lucas tried to get Landon out of there. But the creature's hearing was unusually sharp. It detected them right away. Lucas and Landon hurried into a hidden chamber inside the monastery. They pulled the iron chain on the door to shut it, hoping to keep the creature out. Yet one of the creature's arms forced its way through the gap. Using its immense strength, it tried to push inside. Just then, Lucas wrapped the chain around the creature's arm, trying to pin it down. However, the creature sensed their plan and jerked its arm back violently. But the chain was still coiled around its limb, and when the creature pulled back, its tremendous strength yanked both Lucas and Landon out of the hidden chamber. Even with one arm injured, the creature's attacks didn't slow at all. It lunged again, pinning Lucas to the ground. Lucas quickly grabbed a piece of wood nearby and struck the creature hard on the head. Seeing this, Landon picked up a thick log to help, but the creature whipped its tail at him, knocking him to the floor. Immediately, the creature pounced on Landon. Just as it was about to sink its teeth into Landon's neck, it was suddenly struck and sent stumbling backward by an iron rod. The one who attacked the creature was Brian, the guardian of this decaying monastery. But strangely, Brian didn't press the attack. Instead, he began chanting in a strange, guttural language, as if trying to communicate with the beast. However, after the fight with Lucas and Landon, the creature's fury was fully unleashed, and it no longer obeyed Brian's commands. It turned and charged at him. Brian easily sidestepped the attack and swung his iron rod, landing a solid blow on the creature's torso. The creature quickly scrambled up and lunged at Brian again. From the way they fought, it was clear the creature held a special hatred for Brian. Every one of its strikes aimed for his vital spots. Then, the creature managed to sneak behind Brian, biting down hard on his shoulder and throwing him with all its might. As the creature prepared to attack Brian again, Allison, who was nearby, swiftly threw her grappling hook. It snagged the creature in midair. She then tossed the rope end over a roof beam, hoisting the creature up. With no leverage, the creature couldn't break free from the hook coiled around its neck and could only writhe, letting out piercing shrieks. Seizing the chance, Eric drew his military knife and brought it down hard on the creature's neck, severing its head clean off. Upon closer inspection, Allison realized the creature was actually a mutated rat. To grow a rat to such an enormous size, whoever raised it must have used some unusual methods. But Brian refused to speak about it and would not admit that he had been the one who kept the creature. However, the creature's body carried a potent venom. Brian, having been bitten, soon felt the venom take effect. Although he knew an antidote, he could no longer guide Lucas and the group to the ancient tomb deep in the mountains. Before parting, Brian told them to seek out a man named Leo to be their new guide. Leo was a renowned local hunter, famous for once rescuing his sister single-handedly from a pack of over 100 wolves. Eager for revenge on behalf of his sister, Leo agreed to guide Lucas. But he set one condition: if they encountered the alpha wolf of the mountains, they must help him kill it. The next day, the group set out northwest, driving their yaks ahead of them. Though the uninhabited zone was devoid of people, it teemed with wildlife, flocks of birds, roaming animals, forcing them to stay alert, weapons at the ready. That night, as they ate at the campsite, a black bear suddenly dropped from the heights above. Then, more beasts swarmed down, creating a truly unnerving scene. The yaks carrying their equipment panicked and bolted down the trail ahead. Disregarding the danger, Lucas and the others grabbed their guns and gave chase. Without those supplies, they'd starve in this wilderness. Before they could catch the yaks, a pack of starving wolves surrounded them. Leo showed no fear. With remarkable skill, he cut down the wolves that charged with just a few strokes of his blade. But it struck Lucas that a pack shouldn't be this small. What if these wolves were just a distraction, and the camp was still under threat? Sure enough, upon rushing back, they found the rocky cliffs above their camp bristling with wolves. Then, a white shape fluttered in the wind in the distance. Lucas's heart sank. This white wolf must be the Alpha. Believing that cut off the head, and the body will fall, Lucas was convinced that taking down the Alpha was the key. Leo, who hated the Alpha most, immediately raised his rifle to aim. But the Alpha seemed to understand. It quickly retreated into the pack and issued a call. In response, the wolves withdrew from the valley. The Alpha was shrewd. It knew charging through the narrow gorge against armed humans would only bring heavy losses to the pack, so it ordered a temporary retreat, waiting for a better chance to strike. Lucas, unaware of the Alpha's calculation, knew only that this place was no longer safe. He urged everyone to leave quickly and find the runaway yaks. Once they recovered the animals, they pressed on deeper into the mountains. After 5 days, they finally reached the base of a massive peak. The ancient tomb they sought was located high up on this very mountain. However, Leo informed them that the path ahead was too rugged for the yaks to climb. They had no choice but to leave the yaks and some supplies behind, proceeding on foot. As they trekked upward, the ice beneath them suddenly gave way. Sophia, caught off guard, fell straight into a crevasse. When the others climbed down to rescue her, they discovered the crevasse opened into a vast, hidden chamber. Frozen within the icy walls were numerous mummies, all standing in a circle, leaning forward as if peering down at the floor below. Following their gaze, the group saw another mummy sealed within the ice beneath their feet. After chipping the ice away, Lucas observed the mummy was frozen in an eerie, contorted pose. He immediately sensed danger and cautioned everyone not to touch it, urging them to leave the chamber quickly. But John, ignoring Lucas, wanted to retrieve the mummy for its research value. To his shock, the mummy lay directly over a vent for subterranean flames. In an instant, a jet of blue fire erupted. Sophia pushed John out of the way but was caught in the flames and killed instantly. Grief-stricken, John buried Sophia there in the ice before the group continued their climb toward the tomb. That night, they made camp. Fearing the wolf pack might attack under cover of the worsening weather, they prepared defenses. Their fears were confirmed during Lucas and Leo's watch. The howls of wolves echoed, and soon a large pack surrounded the camp, each beast emitting excited, hungry cries. Lucas and Leo opened fire. The others, hearing the shots, joined the fight. Within minutes, they repelled the first wave. But Lucas knew this was merely the beginning. The wolves would keep coming until their ammunition ran out, which would mean certain death. He argued that waiting to be overrun was futile. They should fight back on our own terms and take the enemy by surprise. Smearing wolf blood on their foreheads to mask their human scent, they set out to locate the Alpha wolf and eliminate their greatest threat. During their search, however, they stumbled upon the bodies of several wolves. These hadn't been killed by humans. Each had 2 distinct puncture wounds on its neck, as if bitten by some other creature. Fearful of a new, hidden danger, Lucas suggested returning to camp. When they returned, they were met with a horrifying sight. Sophia was alive, but something was terribly wrong. She moved with a disturbing, unnatural agility and swiftly dug into another ice hole, vanishing from view before anyone could react.